I was born November 4th, 1998. Childhood was okay, you know. I come from a really, like, poor family, so it was okay. It wasn't, like, I didn't think it was bad, because when I was young, I was always, like, happy, I guess you can say. But, yeah, it was okay.
All right. What about, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got a little brother.
All right. How old is he?
He's, like, 17 now.
Oh, he's not little. He big boy.
I mean, we 3 years apart,
It's all good. I call my little brother little. He's 6'5".
Same, he's taller than me. I'm 6'3", he's 6'4".
He's huge. How was your neighborhood? Did you grow up here in San Antonio?
So yeah, I grew up here in San Antonio, and like I told you before, like I come from like a really like poor family. So I used to live on this side of town actually. Like when I say we're poor, I mean like it's like since me and my brother are 3 years apart, it was like hand-me-down clothes because like we're both big, like I'm built like. So I used to live over here on this side of town, which is like on the east of San Antonio, and like we had to like, me and my brother had to share bedrooms for like, till I told my mom, I was like, Mom, chill out, like, calm down. So then we finally got a 2-bedroom apartment, but it was still like, it wasn't like, how can I say it? It wasn't like, oh, Mom, can I have this? It was more of a, if I want something, I have to wait until we're able to get it.
Have the resources?
Yeah, like we have to wait to get it, you know what I'm saying?
All right. What about your education?
Education-wise, like what you mean?
Well, how was school? How was your education in school? Like your peers? How was just school in general?
That's tough. I think that's where that question on how did it impact me comes in. Mm-hmm. So when I was like, most of my like elementary times, I went to like a predominantly black schools. So like I went to like predominantly black schools until I hit middle school. When I hit middle school, I went to, I don't want to say the school, but I went to this middle school that was like predominantly Hispanics. Like there was like 3 black people in the school, like the whole school. It was just 3 of us. And I personally didn't really like it because I remember when I was in 6th grade, I had this one teacher, and like, I would sit in the front. Like my dad would tell us like, sit in the front. So you know, like when you sit in the front, you like pay attention, you learn more. So I would sit in the front. I sat in the front, and like my teacher was like, you can't sit here. I said, why not? She was like, because you need to go sit in the back. I was like, why do I have to go sit in the back? Like, why I gotta go sit all the way in the back? She was like, because you can't sit in the front. And I was like, why are you trying to tell me I can't sit in the front? I was like, I feel as if I want to learn something, I can sit in the front. And I was like, and then I turned around and I asked the person behind me, I was like, can you see over me? Because, you know, I'm tall. And I was like, can you see over me? The person was like, yeah, I can see over you. And I was like, okay. I was like, so what do I have to sit in the back for? She was like, look, I'm not going to tell you again. She was like, you need to sit in the back or you're getting kicked out of my class. So I was like, I sat in the back. For like that day, I sat in the back. And then the next day I came in and I sat in the front. She was like, look, I'm not gonna tell you again. She was like, I don't want you sitting in the front. And I said, I don't know why. She was like, basically, if you look at the classroom, you can tell you're not like everybody else. So you need to sit in the back. And I looked at her and I was like, do you know what I am? She was like, I just look at you and I could tell. And I was like, first of all, you're wrong. I was like, yeah, everybody in this class is Hispanic. And I was like, but I'm mixed. I was like, my mom is Hispanic. My dad is black. I was like, so if you look, I was like, just like everybody else, I'm half of everybody else that's in here. Like, that's facts. She was just like, no, she was like, I don't care. She was like, sit in the back. So I ended up sitting in the back for like a minute. And then like, one of the principals was cool with my dad, and she's mixed too. She was mixed with like black, Asian, and white. And she was like, She told my teacher about it, and like my teacher like swore she did not do that. She was like, no, I never said that, and blah blah blah. So then instead of sitting all the way in the back, she moved me to like the first 3 rows. But like when I moved to those 3 rows, like those like all the kids, like because I felt like it was because of her, like all the kids would look at me like you're different, we don't want to talk to you. And because of that, like I isolated myself for a couple of years, like until I graduated from high school.
That was 6th grade? So
it was like from 6th, like all the way to 8th, because I stayed there for 3 years.
did it ever get resolved? Did anybody ever come and like help you out with that?
Not really. Nah. To be honest, not really. Like I would tell my parents, and like they would tell that same principal, and like when the principal would look and stuff, like it was, I don't know if she was a principal. She was like a, what do they call it? Like an administrator, kind of. So like if she'll look in the window, like she'll have me like in maybe like the 2nd or 3rd row. Like her excuse was like, oh, she's tall, she can't sit here. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like she needs to sit like on the side or something.
How did others react around you? Were they all like hesitant to hang out with you, or did you feel that the teacher as an authority figure sort of guided them to see you as different?
I felt like, honestly, like I felt like she like kind of made them like feel like I was different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause like I already was made fun of. Like I was bullied and stuff, so I was already made fun of because of the color of my skin. Like for that was facts. Like they were like, you're dark. They were like, you're burnt. Like they would like make jokes like that, and like they'll hit me with stuff like, oh, and like I told you before, like I was like, we're like really poor, so like I would wear some of the same stuff like during like almost like every day of the week. Like I'll wear the same shorts or like something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And like they already was like bullying me for that, and then like her like making that big deal like of me like sitting in the front made it worse, to where like people just looked at me, and that's why I was just like, I'm gonna just not talk to nobody. I'm just gonna do my work and like stay to myself.
So you mentioned that you isolated yourself. Are you still doing that?
Actually now, nah, cause when I graduated from high school, I went to a university. I went to Sam Houston State, actually. And like that was my first time like being around like mostly like black people, and then like you have like the white people that like would be cool with like those black people. Like, you see what I'm saying? So like that was my first time being around that, and like when I got up there, like everybody was like, they were more like, they don't care. Like it was not like, it was like how do I explain it? Like it was like they didn't care. Like they was just
It
like,
wasn't an issue?
yeah, like they did like, well, like first like they really didn't care. Like they would like compliment me on stuff like that. Like when I was,
have really nice hair.
yeah, stuff like that. Like your skin complexion is this. Like you have some really nice hair. Like things like that. Like they didn't care like what I look like, what I would do or anything like that. So like joining organizations with them and like being around those type of people like made me more like, I guess like made me open up again. So like for instance, like here, a lot of people know me because I'm very social. Like I'll go around and I would talk to anybody now. Now I can talk to anybody.
All right. Well, what made you decide to come in here and share today?
I don't know. Cause like I said, I just got out of class, and like they were like, oh, they're doing this. And I was like, I like to like, I don't know. I just like being like helpful.
Well,
So
I appreciate you coming in and talking. So do you feel that all of that was racially based for sure?
I mean, you tell me what you think.
As a researcher, I have to be unbiased, but off the record, I think it was. But you know, we want your opinion.
I think so.
Okay. How would you say that it has impacted you, like physically or emotionally, besides the isolation?
I don't know. It kind of changed me, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna say like, honestly, like going through like all that kind of made me like a stronger person, because now like I could take like compliments and turn them upside down, if that makes sense. So like I remember like when I was in middle school, I started playing basketball, and like this boy, it was meant to be like an insult, but I turned it upside down. Like he had called me Shaq, and I was like, Shaq? I was like, So then I Googled him, and I was like, yeah, okay, I'm Shaq. Like, that's cool with me. Like, do you know what this man does? Do you know who this man is? Like, you see what I'm saying? But they didn't think like that at the time. And because of that, like, Shaq is like one of my like idols. Like, he's like one of my favorite players.
Shaq has a doctorate. He's a doctor.
I'm saying, like, he's like different. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I just like, from there, I would just turn like those like insults to compliments.
Who would you say were like role models growing up for you, besides Shaq?
Ugh. I don't know.
Okay.
Cause I never like, usually like when people find role models, they find somebody that like been through what they've been through. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It could just be somebody that you relate with, I suppose. Like one of my role models is my mom, just because she's had the type of strength that I hope that I can have.
Well, I would say my grandma then, my mom's mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's been through a lot, and like she like helped me get like where I need to be, like on like religious basis and stuff like that, to always like keep believing and stuff like that.
What values did she try to instill in you?
Values?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the values that I have, because of like everybody that I looked up to, the values that I have is that like, this might be like, some people might think of it as like, why? Like, what about yourself? But I feel like if I'm gonna eat, everybody should eat too. Like, everybody that's like associated with me, like around my circle, should eat too. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Like if you have it, they should have it too.
Not like that. Like, if it's like, if I'm succeeding, then I want them to succeed too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically.
Mm-hmm. After your experiences, you know, in middle school and stuff, how do you see other people? How do you see people of like the other race and authority figures, especially teachers or professors?
Man, I don't even like, honestly, I just like, when it comes to class, I just come to class, pay attention, and dip. I don't really get into that. Like,
So would you say that the experience didn't affect your point of view on people? You still just see them as people?
I mean, like, I can't be like, honestly, like, I feel like you're taught, like, personally, I feel like you're taught racism. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I wasn't taught that. I wasn't taught, like, oh, you this color, so you're better than me. I mean, like, I know, like, I could see you and I could be like, you probably got better stuff than me. You probably not in, like, you probably ain't never went with, like, 3 months without having electricity. You know what I'm saying? You probably haven't done that. Like, you haven't been through that like I have. You see what I'm saying? But every, like they say, like, if I would, like, have a cut, what's going to come out is the same thing that's going to come out to you. That's facts.
So you don't blame the person, you blame whoever taught them.
Facts.
All right.
I don't hold grudges on people, so I'm not going to be like...
Okay. So you said, so I'm assuming you told your parents about those incidents. How did they react?
I mean, like, they wanted to, like, move me, like, to, like one of, like, a charter school or something, like, you know, like, those, like, some, like, kind of like the School of Excellence, like, things like that. But, like, we ain't had the money for that. So, like, I just stayed. They tried to switch me out of classes, out of that teacher's class. But since, like, the way the school was built, like, I really couldn't get switched out. But we got a new teacher, though.
Alright. What do you tell people about this event? Do you discuss it ever?
Not really. Not if it, like, I mean, like, if somebody would ask me, I would probably discuss it. But, like, it's something that, like, I brushed off my shoulder.
Okay. How did this impact the way you deal with others now?
Like I said, like, now I'm a totally different person than what I was, like, after the incident. So, like, now I'm just, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm just cool with everybody. Like, I just, like, I'm a very open-minded person now. Like, if that makes sense. Like, I just, like, I'm cool with everybody.
Do you trust people? Do you find it hard to trust somebody?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
I feel like trusting is a heavy word. So I feel like if I tell you something, what I'm telling you is not a secret. So if you feel like, oh, that's deep, whatever I'm telling you, I'm expecting for you to go and tell it to other people. Like, I'm prepared for you to do that. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever search for like a justice or anything after that? Just some type of reconciliation? You sort of took it?
I felt like it's a kid. Like, to be honest, I felt like nobody believed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my word against theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like the adult and I'm a child. You know what I'm saying? So I really just was like I said, I brushed it off my shoulder. I was just like, all right, whatever.
Okay. So you said that you didn't think people believed you. Do you think that would be true now? If something were to happen, that they wouldn't believe you?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. Because the way that the government and all that working now, I have no idea. Like, that one, I don't know.
Well, if something like this were to happen, if you were to go into class and a professor demanded you sit in the back, what would you do?
Honestly, like, now that I'm bold, I probably would, like, sit there. I wouldn't sit in the back. I would stay where I'm at, and I'd just look at him. And if he demands, I was like, all right, bet, bruh. I'll get up and I'll walk out. And then I'll have somebody handle that. Because there's no point to argue with a teacher over something like that. Like,
you
see
would
what
go
I'm saying?
above him?
Yeah, facts. Because, like I said, like, I know people.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of people here. And a lot of people know me.
So if you were back then, back in, like, 6th grade, middle school, would you have handled this differently? Or do you think you did everything you could in that situation?
I mean, like, I think I did everything I can because, like, in my head, it was like, if, like, in my head, it's like, if the teacher ain't fucking with me, then how is the administrator gonna listen to me? Like, you see what I'm saying? Because in my head, that was like, they're all the same. Like, how are they gonna, like, teacher already don't like me, so, like, what am I gonna do?
So you said they're all the same? Like, you just expected...
Like, yeah, I expected it to be like, well, we can't do nothing about that. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. To not think it was that big of an issue, or just to not believe it in
Yeah.
general. The lights are on a motion sensor.
Oh, yeah, no,
nothing
thanks.
we can do about it. How do you think society, like, handles racism and discrimination now? Do you think they handle it in a good way? When you're a young woman of color, I know you've been watching the news at least a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, like, how do I say this? Okay, so can you, like, extend your question, like, break it down a little bit more?
Well, right now in society, how do you think we handle racism and racist incidents? What do you think it is that people go and do? Because back in the day, it was like sit-ins and stuff. What do you think it is now? And do you think what society right now is doing is enough? And do you think they're heading in the right direction?
I don't know. I'm trying to think, like, on this question. Because, like, the only thing I could think of that's going down now is, like, protesting and stuff.
Yeah,
like a lot of protesting and, like, a whole lot of, like, Black Lives Matters and things like that.
Do you agree with Black Lives Matter and all the protesters?
I mean, yeah. Like, honestly, like, in my head, like, I really, really kind of want to be an activist. Like, that's why I wanted my shirt. I don't have my shirt, but I have, like, some shirts and stuff. And I have, like, a shirt that has, like, it says Black and Educated on it. And it's a picture of a man and it's a picture of a female. And, like, within, like, their eyebrows, their eyes, and their mouth, it says, like, knowledge, excellence, love, hope, honor, like, things like that.
So do you think that young people, or just people in general, it's our duty to be educated on these topics and to do something about it?
I don't feel like you should I feel like the thing that I feel like is, like, we just letting it happen because we want to, like, get through this stage, which is, like, the education part. like we want to get through this. So like I feel like we just letting it happen. But then like we got some people that's just like, I'm not gonna let this happen. You see what I'm saying? And like
we should fight back.
Yeah, and if I was that one person that went through it again, then I probably wouldn't let it happen either.
So, comparing this to other generations, like, the old heads back in the day, what do you think the difference is? Like, do you think that we are handling racism and discrimination better or just in a different way?
I feel like they're handling it in a different way.
Do you think maybe it's a different way to combat a different style of discrimination?
I don't know, because like the last thing I could think of, like I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really been watching the news. I've been really focused on school.
So you don't have to.
Yeah, I've been really focused on school. Like the only time I watch the news is like if it pops up on my phone or something, but like honestly, the last thing I could remember was like riots and stuff going on. Not here in Texas, but like other places. Like when Brown died, when he got shot and things like that. Those are the only things that's like coming to my head right now. Okay. But I feel like they're handling it different by doing riots and stuff. Like that ain't it. That's not the way to go. I don't think that's the way to go.
So you think violence is the answer?
No. Because like, nah, that just ain't it. It just ain't it. I feel like, honestly, personally, I feel like all Black people should stand together. But then like, violence ain't it. Like, I don't think it's it. Because we have a lot of like people amongst ourselves killing each other too. Because it's like stupid stuff. Like violence ain't it. I'm sorry, that just ain't it. That just ain't it.
Okay. Well, are you hopeful that racism will maybe dwindle or that society is at least getting better?
Man. I have no idea. Because the only reason I say that is because, like, how long has this been going on? 19 what?
Oh, well, slavery, the first Africans were brought to America in 1619.
There you go.
So, been about 400 years since that. Slavery ended, let's say, 1865 was when the Civil War ended.
Oh, see, look, all the way back in the 18. We over here in 2019, and like, you see what I'm saying? So personally, I hope it gets better. I do. But like, do I really believe it's gonna get better? Probably not. It's numbing down. It's not as bad as it used to be. It's numbing down. I feel like it's numbing down, but like.
Okay. Well, what is your faith background? What is your religion?
I'm Catholic, but I'm like in confusion. Cause like I'm Catholic, but my mom is Catholic, but my dad's side of the family is Baptist Pentecostal, and I kind of like prefer that more. But like, I did all my sacraments and stuff through Catholic, so.
All right. Would you be able to relate your faith to your experiences, like with any racism or discrimination?
What you mean?
I'm not gonna lie, it's what it says on the paper. Well, you said that your grandmother made you like get more in tune with your religious beliefs. When was that? About what age was that?
Before she passed away. And she passed away in 2012. I'm trying to think. It was probably like in middle school, when I was in middle school.
So do you think that maybe having that religious bond helped you at all get through this?
I mean, I didn't harm myself, so yeah. Because I know, like, yeah, facts.
Did you like struggle with mental health during that time?
The only thing that's wrong with me is like I'm ADHD, so.
Okay. How does your religious tradition address issues of race?
How does my what?
Religious tradition, so just your religious.
Help issues of race.
Like, how do they discuss it, if at all?
That's iffy, because, like, the church I go to, like, mainly Hispanic. You see what I'm
Is that a
saying?
Catholic church?
Mainly Hispanic. But I feel like when I'm around those people, like, they don't really, like, they don't see color. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know how some people be, like, having, like, black Jesus and stuff? I don't know how to react to that, but, like, I know, like, they don't really, like, they kind of don't see color. Because I know, like, the only, like, black people that's in that church is me, my brother, and these 2 other females that go there. But, like, they're not even, like, fully black. Like, we're mixed. Like, you see what I'm saying? So, like, but, like, they pray over it. We do this thing where it's, like, intentions, and, like, they pray over it and stuff when it starts getting out of hand.
Okay. So, it's not the biggest part of the mission of the church, but when there are problems, they'll address them.
Yeah. I think, like, they're mainly, since I feel like just because, like, since, like, they're, like, predominantly Hispanic, they're really, like, stressing the fact about this wall.
We can talk about the wall after the interview because it's ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, we're gonna talk about that after the interview.
It's dumb. Anyway, well, do you feel like a part of that church community? I know that you're mixed, but have they ever made you feel different or anything?
Nah. Actually, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna even flex. They make me feel like, I mean, like I said, my background, like, coming from, like, a very poor family, like me and my brother, like, we went on some retreats and stuff, and they helped us feel, like, more comfort. Like, it's okay. Like, you see what I'm saying?
So they help lift you up rather than bring you down.
Facts.
Do you believe that the church or faith plays a big role in addressing racism, or can even help to stop it?
I think so.
Just having, like, that community, like just having a community like comes together like that, maybe.
Honestly, I've never seen them, like, stress racism like that. Like, I haven't.